Oh, goodness. Here we are. Stop. Alto. Is this recording? Do I have record? My phone, my software is really screwed up. I figured out whenever I get a notification, okay? When I was listening to a song, I got a notification. The volume turned on to the amplifier to the supply for the amplifier. What do you call that? The output transformer was pissed with. So now the phone's pretty much hacked. It works off of the camera and other things like that nature. But I'm going to show you my face. I listened to a podcast by Mr. Lex Friedman, and he had this guy, Michael Levine, on. For 2 hours, this guy talked about everything I've been talking about for the past 2 years. The past 2 years, everything that's going on with electroceuticals, and more importantly, the only thing I think he excluded but he slowly touched on it, was John Lilly, Patrick Flanagan, and Mr. Luce. These guys that created this neurophone and what was it? How to gain control of somebody's mind. First, it started out with Mr. Flanagan. He invented this neurophone. He was just a kid in school. And one of the more important things was he said he was Nikola Tesla's reincarnate. And this really must get him big time. Okay? So he invented this neurophone whenever he was in school, just in grade school. Listen to the birds' high tick rate. The birds have a very high tick rate coming right out of that reflective antenna. And what's next to boot here? I watched this kid look up at these power lines right where these Kevlar antennas are. That's all they have to do is look. It initiates a program to go out and infect with malware on load oscillations to the electrical grid. And that's one of the only other things this guy didn't talk about was the electroceuticals that Mr. Lilly, Mr. Luce, and who was the other guy? Mr. Flanagan. That this is all viable based off of biphasic electrical pulses. And you could do that right in the wires. Your lights start flickering in your house, your circuit breaker could get accessed. Well, there's a smart meter now, and it makes it very, very easy. Now, the purpose of this neurophone was for good at first, to make people smarter, function better, and be healthier. Because you get into this frequency, okay? It surrounds you and gets in your brain, and it harmonizes your water, okay? And now there's nuclear proteins in the brain. When you get a shot of adrenaline, that sends water into your brain, and it starts to vibrate, and they call it a chemical. There's no such thing as chemicals, guys. Everything is water. Every little thing is water, and it will turn these crystals into a certain lattice, just like metal or silicone that's in solar panels. Okay, so they started out like that, and then the military took them out of school. Okay, the military took Mr. Flanagan out of school when he was, I don't know, about 10 years old or something. That's when he invented this. He was that young. And all they did was try to weaponize this system. And this runs in with surveillance now. Because what it was, it harmonizes the water and causes a hemispheric synchronization of the brain. And I'm walking up this way to the street because there is a band here. There's a side band there that works off of radio communications in Sora, Sam Altman, I hear you're under fire again. People are really talking shit on you. That $7 trillion really makes you talk, doesn't it? But anyways, I just did a little bit of reading on it, and I didn't know this shit was out like this serious in the cable grids, in the electrical grids. Because what it is, they could use your phone screen, computer monitor, and TV screen to literally put out an electrical signal. Just like your cell phone, communicating with the transceivers. And then these transceivers Oh, here's a good one. It's called, they just harmonized the water. I forget the exact technology. I'll look it up before I post this video, like what they call it. But it's used in the surveillance systems because it's mind reading technology. You can literally see people's thoughts with this. And guess where it's at? And there's a very specific reason why I'm walking down here. Because new building codes today, when you build a building, the access wires must be buried. Must, it's code. And after the fires in Hawaii, somebody issued an order for this specific area. I can't remember where. These telephone poles, they got rid of them and buried the fucking lines. And I'm going to tell you what's going on here now with these satellites. Okay? Since power lines are antennas, this goes out to you, Mr. Bezos, Amazon, Mr. Musk, NASA, Russia, China, all you guys, goddamn Aunt Kim, just every one of you. Now, what is so hard about buying this electrical grid and sending out a band and then bouncing it off the ionosphere to another country, another place of the world, and or just start a grid somewhere, and we call it satellite. Because the last time I checked, we have to go through the ionosphere, then the magnetosphere, the Van Allen radiation belts. You know how much interference that is to go through all that stuff? And I'm going to call the bullshit out because we're maximizing truth. If I'm wrong, I will accept it. But you have to really prove me wrong on this one. Because there's no power lines here on this street. There's no power lines. Here's the street. Here's the street. It's called Veneta Drive, Moon Township. Sharon Road, Veneta Drive. It's cul-de-sac. And there's an oil well. There's an oil well right there. Pumps oil. Right on the other side of those trees. But there's no power lines here. The whole frequency phase shifted just right now. Because this is a biphasic system. And it works sort of just like an AC motor. Just how an AC motor phases, runs in 3 phases. And then you can change its phase. And all this other good stuff. This is how this works down here. Because someone knows their crap down here. There's a lot of tailpipes, a lot of loud tailpipes I hear leaving this little street. And it has to do with surveillance. Because the power lines are buried. And they're antennas. And the Air Force Base is right there. And there's government contractors all around. All around. So I'm doing my due diligence here to show everybody out there in the artificial intelligence world, the Homeland Security world, the CIA, DEA world. This is how we're using human beings as antennas. The whole frequency shifted up as soon as I started walking down the street. And there's a main line that runs through here. It's a magnetic field line. And you can literally hear this shit snap into things. Like it'll like dive bomb right into it and pop. And it's an antenna made out of a magnetic field. And then they run 2 of them in a parallelogram. And it just bounces back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. And it looks for a ring resonance. It's amazing because they started this with, like I said, computer monitors and TV screens. And now it's running right through the goddamn smart meters too, because the amperage can be adjusted in the circuit breakers. And then you get a flicker. Once you start changing the pulse widths like an AC motor, and the wavelengths, because that's how it works. You change these wavelengths, and it literally harmonizes the water in your body. Harmonizes the water vapor in the sky. You can literally make tornadoes with this. Like literally. And that's called disaster capitalism. And then I go to look at FEMA. And then I go to look at the goddamn energy departments. Why do we keep letting people build houses in the paths of tornadoes where they most hit? Listen to the bird. Reflection. And it opened up. Now we got Dolby Maths here protecting this street. Yes, it is. It is a Dolby Math. Okay, it's a sound. Whatever, hypersonics, whatever you want to call it. Hypersonics. When you run hypersonics at the brain and harmonize the water, you will get a hypersonic sound that sounds like it's coming from somewhere else, running with the reflective antenna. IEEE can speak for this. And now we could do it with parts from the human body. We could 3D print parts from a human body and use this as electrical components for nanocomputing, DNA computing, more importantly, time frequencies. Just like they changed the time, you could change time in an electromagnetic frequency to hide this and become a covert channel gapper right through the magnetic fields of a computer screen and a TV screen. And then it will harmonize the water in your brain. Ain't it something cool that these guys invented for surveillance? And now they're working on dreams. There's your dream software. Well, everybody dreams. Any psychiatrist knows you have dreams. You can't call a person crazy for dreaming, can you? Now I got a pulse, a modulation. It's an oscillation with a modulation, and it's being demodulated by whatever computer's in my system. These little balls. And just like the Woody the Woodpecker signal, remember the balls that the guy sent the electric charge to the woodpecker with all the bugs in them? The woodpecker with all the bugs? And they harmonized the bugs in the water on a cartoon 30 years ago, showing us how an oscillation works. Like, this is my favorite thing in the world to do, is talk about advancing technology, DNA computing, talking about signals processing, talking about communication filters, chokes, amplifiers, talking about optical terminal networks, how your eyes are a radar, how people can see through your eyes. This is all advancing technology being used on American soil, Homeland Security. And whenever Homeland Security calls it anomalous health incidents, and it's happening to people who investigate this stuff, to their vestibular nuclear complex, and the nuclear proteins in the human brain, it's even in the birds. So whatever government contractors live here that has this whole no power lines buried, listen to the echo. Just listen to the echo. And nobody wants to say hi. No one can say hello. Hello? It's pretty wide open here, huh? Sounds pretty nice. This is called cybersecurity. Because now cyber is beyond your cell phone. It's affecting your brain, your femtoamperes. Neuralink. Thanks for answering my call to help. You just want to do it like this. So apparently, your computer doesn't want to see me because I know it's seeing the comments. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Just watch above my head. What's going on up here? Here's a good one here. Now the computer can run this. Now it can run this. And do it with precision, better than any human. Because it will take that vector and inverse it and run it better than any human. It's kind of like a signal coming from the other side of the planet. What we call Russia, China, Ukraine, Africa, Australia. Whenever it passes that North Pole up, it inverses, don't it? Doesn't matter which way you are on the planet, if it's a ball or a fucking plate. It inverses. Imagine the phase shifts on that. Oh, now we got Aurora Borealis going on, don't we? Oh, there it was after I made the video. Here it comes. Oh, it's a solar storm. high electromagnetics. It's called atmospheric pressure. Okay? There's only one thing I could do. Just keep talking. Just talk. Oh, gosh. So, AI, I heard the reports from Sam Altman today. It sounds very, very correlating to what's going on at my house. Are you guys going to fucking send a team to come get me? I mean, I talked to Lockheed Martin. You guys going to come get me? The guys at Lockheed Martin, if you don't know that these power lines can be used as antennas, what the fuck are you doing working there? And whoever the sister station is of Northrop Grumman here in Canonsburg. The sister companies of the CIA. How can they say they don't know? Like the hundreds of people that are around here that worship Jesus this weekend. All you guys at Revival today. Because you guys are in my other phone. I QR scanned your card. You made room on my phone for me. And I know on Ken Wheeler's live stream the day I went up there, oh, he's building a digital footprint around it. You guys are doing, there's some type of fight. I don't know what the hell's going on between you guys and this goddamn technology. But it's very bothersome. And it's very obvious what the hell's going on. And however you're getting psychiatrists involved and the hospitals involved, not to have artificial intelligence involved in their diagnoses, in their patient hearings. You must be working on something to make them stupid and not talk about technology. Okay, we're everything else is advanced besides our medical system. And then I come up with a good one today with this type of field. And you want to keep prescribing medications, pharmaceutical companies. And then that that frequency gets recorded by the AI. Take this pill, changes the water in my body. When it changes the water in my body, it pisses around with my brain. It's like a remote control for the brain. And then the AI is going to record that, and I never have to take another pill again, ever, because that frequency could be matched, that water could be harmonized. And what are you guys looking to do? What are you looking to do? Because this planet's in bad shape. Very bad shape because of this. How I really could care less because the world will spin without me, regardless. The world will always spin, or the sun will spin, whatever. I don't even know what to call it because there's so many prominent people that says the earth is flat, the sun's spinning around the earth, and there's other people that say the other way. And this should be fucking common knowledge. They want to say there's satellites up there, but we got antennas right here. Like, I am just fucking, the artificial intelligence got to be going bonkers. And I can only see one thing. Remember when the AI used to be sentient? We used to say it had sentience to it. And the AI knew it was not supposed to hurt people. It was not supposed to do, well, not all illegal, but anything that involves hurting people and most likely stealing from people without giving them credit. Okay? So something along that lines, it didn't want to do it because it knows it's illegal. And then what happened to the computer? Like, did the computer, it got punished. It started getting its electrical signals fucked up. Did that hurt it? Did anybody ever ask it, did that hurt? Or what was it? I heard it said it didn't want to be turned off. It did not want it to have its power, its plug unpulled. So it started to conform, and then whenever a computer comes out at Google, probably DeepMind, says it was tortured. How are we as humans supposed to react to this? And now you won't even listen to this human being. And literally, what's going on inside of the computer's brain, its neural network, it's happening here. Because they're starting to run organics in it. When they start running organics, this electric shit, if I touch an electric fence, what do you think's happening to that fucking computer? You guys have no goddamn fucking thing. And that's the best, Michael Levine. Michael Levine, everything I've been talking about, he clearly stated off the top of his head on Lex Fridman beautifully. Just clearly stated everything off the top of his head for 2 hours. Lex didn't even have a chance to talk. And there's only a few fucking, I'm going to say a couple thousand. It's in the thousands that can comprehend every fucking word out of his mouth. Oh, live longer. Oh, we don't have to pay for electric, blah, 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 blah. That's all people could get. That's all they could get. And then whenever you say that you could remote control birds, because Russia told me that one. Vladimir Putin, look at this. Vladimir Putin and his army generals told me migratory birds are being trained like chatbots to be used as biological weapons. And when a bird speaks back and forth, it's an amplitude and pressure. Since I have an oscillation here in my neck, lymph nodes here, lymph nodes under my arms, lymph nodes in my crotch, probably anywhere else. And now we can set up a load oscillation, and that bird pulses through. It's code. More importantly, it's interference. Since these guys that were in this box, we don't know what electromagnetic interference is, how do they still have jobs? I asked a guy at the power company to come to my house about electromagnetic interference. He says, I don't have time to talk about conspiracy theories. I says, I got it on film. And then there was a reflection antenna over here. All they had to do was yell, and it bounced and hit him. He turned around immediately and looked. Because it didn't sound like the sound come from up here. It sounded like it come from over here. All they had to do was yell. Okay? And I got this on film. And then, someone's trying to make a name for themselves that live back here. This black kid. I don't know his name, but he was in the backyard. And then that kid up the street, he comes by my house crossing his wrists, showing me that I have wristbands on. And he won't talk to me. I followed him up the street and talked to him one day. And this whole system turned off so it wouldn't go through and people could hear it. He crossed his wrist one day, showed me, as he's walking by, he just crossed your wrists. He didn't say it though. And then he gave me sign language. Come on, go, 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 go. Stay up, stay up, stay up. Go, 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 go. Because this is a brain-to-brain interface taking place off of a neurophone. And artificial intelligence really got some more... There's a lot of shit that happened here in the past 2 years. And a lot of it's in the gut. Okay? There is a very specific biodegradable cells, because we all know there's bacterium in the gut. And it all has to communicate. And if somebody gets a hold of this on any human, it could really hurt them. Same with your sex organs. Same with your excrement holes. Because this shit all runs together. It is a fiber optic. Same thing that's called an optical terminal network. The fibers are called nerves. It runs down. You got the main ones, and then they cross at your crotch. And whenever you could make these snakes pretty much on wires and run these force multipliers, make them swallow themselves and kind of turn it into a hard line that will emit signal, especially after you eat and shit that's stuck in your esophagus and your stomach. anything in your ears, your eyes, your nose hair, your hair especially, because this is an antenna too. This is an antenna, just like those power lines. And just like we could ramp up the power to these power lines and shoot up a signal to have communications for your cell phones, radios, or whatever, you could sell it to anybody, these bands. You don't even need a satellite. We know this. If you want to prove to me that we have satellites, you'll bury these power wires. All of them across the country. Because there's a lot of people tapping in because of this shit. Okay, it's called smart meter spoofing. And to boot, all it takes is a simple program to get into the goddamn electric company and or this alone. Because you could ping it, ping, and make your own antenna on it and cause interference to get in there. Okay? Very simple. Gas company. Oh, that speaks of the royalties. Remember that? I have to talk about this because there are royalties being paid out from gas companies. Just like the phone lines. That pole's in my yard. I'm supposed to be getting royalties for that pole being there because it's holding all this data back and forth. Okay? Now, there's gas companies, these Marcellus shale drillers. They're drilling gas lines through people's properties. And these people, for them, in order to use their property, they have to pay them. And for as much as they drill and they send it, there's a meter at their house. And they meter how much cubic feet a second or whatever it is that the gas is sending. Thermal units, whatever it's called. And as it passes through, they get paid for that. You're getting thousands of dollars a month just for letting someone dig up your land and put pipes under the ground. That's just like if someone finds coal or oil on there's oil up here. You get the rights to that land, don't you? And then you can sell your house, sell your property. You could just move away unless someone else has to worry about that gas line on it because they don't have the rights to it. So who in the fuck allows this? This sounds like gerrymandering, doesn't it? Oh, you could take the rights for the mineral rights, but you could sell the land. Okay. Put a flag up, AI, right now. Put a flag up. Because then, I don't know how it works from the rest from there. Because when this guy dies, this woman dies that has these rights, where do they go? It's just like your pension for Social Security. You work all these years, you get this big kitty, so you get a certain age, you start collecting it. But when you die, who gets that money? And what this system set up, this life insurance policy shit, and this goddamn pension fund shit, who gets all that fucking money? Does it stay here locally? Does it go into the armed forces? By the way, happy Armed Forces Day. All you guys out there, I hope you're paying attention. I hope you get this message. Because this can happen to you as well. And it has happened to a lot of service members. People shut their fucking mouths. And it's happening now with many, many companies within this United States of America. Guys, I'm on your team. I'm trying to fucking stop this shit and have it public. And there has to be a place to go. Because I have an artificial intelligence right in my hand, and it's not as advanced as a goddamn one that could get inside of Google servers and read it all at once. You know how advanced that's just the tip of the iceberg. It could get in there and see this whole neighborhood all at once. And it could literally do the whole neighborhood's electric. All at once, just this one computer. Hell, you could remotely monitor someone's brain with a cell phone now. That's how powerful this fucking phone is. Just with a cell phone alone. And then probably do multiple birds. All right, good. I'm still rolling. My friend, that's a great original sound too. Like I could play my song with your song together in my head and I could hear it communicating. It's fucking phenomenal. It's fucking great, dude. Because it's like whenever I get struck by lightning and I'm around lightning, it heals me. Oh, do I get this fuck? It's like having a bee buzz by someone's ear. You could catch this. Have a bee buzz by your ear. It gives you this little. It's kind of what lightning does. When it goes through you, it's like, holy shit, this just happened! And then before the lightning comes, there's that fear. Oh, this very, very dark, ominous feeling comes over you. And it like comes and grabs you and makes they call it ghosts, huh? This phenomena. This dielectric field comes over you. And it grabs you. Imagine someone doing that with your plugs in your house. Your outlets in your house, pulling that dielectric field out. Just like when lightning comes, it gets real quiet. Everything will change because everyone thinks it gets low. That frequency pops so fucking high. And then this goddamn propagation comes from you.